Hey there, friendlies. How's up? Excuse me. Welcome to a completely unplanned live stream. I'm just making sure that I'm getting sound because, hey, wouldn't that be embarrassing if I wasn't? Okay, I'm getting sound. It's okay because there ain't nobody watching yet anyway. um, I figured I would do a sort of an impromptu live stream to make up for the fact that I did not get a video up yesterday morning. I'm sort of out of stuff that I've shot at this point, and I didn't have a chance to get out and shoot anything this past week. So, kind of slim pickings for the channel this week. Excuse me. And I'm just popping open a beer ski since generally the conceit of the channel is beer, blades, and bushcraft. There's the beer. It's okay. I'm prepped for this. As always, here are the blades. And maybe we'll talk about bushcraft. Thing is, because it's an impromptu live stream, I don't even know what I'm going to talk about. I'm just live streaming for the hell of it. Having a beer that I've never had before. Hoping it's good. Slurping off the head is no way to... Geez, that sounded terrible. Good thing I'm kind of alone right now. I do want to say, though, before I get any further into this lonely live stream, that if you are watching this time shifted to tomorrow or next week or something, I appreciate that as well. I think that if you're spending time with me either while I'm live streaming or after the fact, I appreciate all of it. That miraculously went into the garbage. So, what is this beer? I have never had this before. It's by a brewery on the south shore of Montreal, like just across the river in one of those south shore cities called Les Trois Mousquetières, and this is Sticke Alt. It's a red lager. Uh-oh. It says it's a strong beer. Hold on. Boom. It says it's strong, but it's 6%. It's a 750 ml, though, so here's hoping tonight doesn't go off the rails. There we go. Well, if my buddy Serge was watching, he would get to gloat over the fact that I really blew that pour. I'll just let it sort of settle down a bit while I yap into the into the void. If anyone is actually watching, then sound off, say hi in the side chat so that I know that you're there. Black Dog, how's it going? You just got inside. Okay, listen as you can. That's fine with me. Outdoor Dauber, you're setting up tents in the front yard for you and your son tonight? Nice. My daughter and I, Cody, have been on occasion camping in the backyard just to sort of get some sort of camping in this COVID-y season. Right now it's very rainy though, so we're not going to do it tonight. She's upstairs watching a movie. She is watching The Nightmare Before Christmas. As I came down, I sort of heard that, this is Halloween, everybody make a scene. I have good memories of that movie. I think it was a very good movie. I remember when it came out, I was in university, and a friend of mine and I saw it, and we were both in film school, right? So the way people who are studying filmmaking see movies is different than everyone else in some way. They have this habit of directing other people's movies, if you know what I'm saying. I would have done this and that differently. And I think that my buddy James was expecting it to be like a terrifying puppet show or something. So when, Jack is, he's just discovered the Christmas world or snow or whatever. And he's like, what's this? What's this? He was like, what is happening in this film? But I don't know. I thought it was brilliant. I enjoyed it immensely. Black Dog, you ordered a zebra pot, the 14 centimeter. Yeah, I think I gotta get one of those one day because even though I keep saying I'm really happy with my Morris pot, I'm really curious about the zebra pot. And now that they have, now that the little clips on the sides are made of metal instead of plastic, now I'm willing to spend the money. Because before I was like, no, I'm not going to buy this thing that part of it's going to melt. But now that those little clips are metal, I think that's a really nice solution. So I'm going to pick one up at some point after my my 6-month moratorium on bushcraft purchases is over. But yeah, good. So when did you order it? Today? Hey, Simon, come over. Did you order that today, Black Dog? So, like, is it going to come this week kind of thing? Or did you order it like days ago and you're waiting? Yeah, when it arrives, I want to hear all about it. Because I'd like to pick one up at some point as well. And it's funny because someone recently asked me about the Morris pot that I bought, and so I went to Three Dog Stove or Four Dog Night or whatever that site's called, where they had them, and they're not there anymore. It's like they don't make them anymore. I noticed that Self Reliance Outfitters or whatever his store is called, the Dave Canterbury shop, that they've got something that's identical now. So I don't know what happened there, but at least the design is still available. I think it's too bad that it's not the Morris pot from some number of dogs stoves there, whatever that site is called. But as long as the design is available, I'm going to call it maybe not win, but not a lose either. All right, let's see how this beer tastes, guys. Anyone else got a brewski going tonight? Oh, it's bitter, all right. It's hoppy, but it's got kind of a nice, there's a creamy thing that happens right after the initial hop punch. So there's a lot of malt in there as well. What's it got? Toasted bread, yeah. Caramel, definitely. Nuts, herbal, and raisin. Yeah, I'm picking that up. I'm picking up what you're throwing down, beer. Oh, Simone, you got the 99% Invisible City book today. Nice. That is a podcast I listen to all the time. It's on constant rotation. So there's 4 of us hanging out together. This is a Friday night. It's not my usual night, and I wasn't planning to do this live stream, so I didn't advertise it at all or anything. But so I'm not expecting suddenly 20 people to show up or anything. I'll just call it a few friends hanging out on a Friday night, drinking some brews, talking about girls. Kidding. Talking about tents and stuff. Dauber, how many is that, like 2 one-man tents you're putting up there, or is that 2 two-man tents? What are you putting up for you and your son tonight? I guess it's not pouring on you the way it is on us here in Montreal. Yeah, there's a bit of a hoppy bitterness there. What night is this? We're not even Friday night, are we? Are we Saturday? I think we're Saturday night. I probably have to change that title because I just realized it's Saturday night. But Simo even said, Prairie's entry. Hey, how's it going? Prairie's entry. Hanging with us on a rainy Saturday night. Well, rainy here. I'm bugging Outdoor Dauber, asking him what the tents are that he's putting up in the front yard tonight. Having a little brewski. Talking about nothing in particular because there's nothing to talk about. Had some free time. Figured I'd come on, see who's up, who's hanging out, who's out camping. I got an axe here just in case I need to show an axe on occasion to prove that it's still a bushcraft live stream. I just got a stream a signal message. Oh, it's Jen. All right. How are things? How is stuff going? How are things happening? What's going on tonight? Anyone else drinking a brew? Am I the only one? Am I having a libation alone here? Anyone want to come on and yap? If I drop the invite there, does anyone want to hang out? Say a few things. Boom. Knitting gloves for the boys. Yeah. Knitting gloves, eh? There's got to be a lot going on there. Yeah, it's too bad you're still unemployed. I don't know when that's going to change. Okay, Dauber says they're rated as two-man tents, which is never the truth. French military F2 and your North Face Pebble. Nice. Nice. Yeah. Jen's still jobless. That sucks, man. I find, and she's not the only one here is who's out of work right now. And I just, man, it's got to be such a scary time to be out of work. I'm fairly lucky in that I work for a company that is kind of recession proof, and it's considered essential services in Canada and the United States. So, I mean, I'm still working, but I know a lot of people who are just, just hoping right now. And I spent a couple of years underemployed at one point, and it's just so stressful. Tenenbaum.
Hello.
You got some Kpop Player there?
Yeah, I just got an ad when I was trying to mute YouTube.
Okay.
All right. There we go. Hello.
Hi. So I'm drinking beer. I gotta tell you, every time I have to go to a store, it just about kills me because, man, this province is still all messed up over the COVIDs, and like I go out and I'm just surrounded by people who just don't pay any bloody attention.
It's what a coincidence. It's like that here too. We just don't know how good or bad things are here, but
right.
Yeah, I went shopping today, and it's terrifying. I mean, I can tell you here in Sweden, most people are acting like everything's normal again, and it's clearly not. I mean,
it drives me nuts.
Things are statistically, apparently things aren't as bad at this point, but the disease is here. People are getting it. Very few people are dying, but I think people get sick. So.
Well, here we're well and truly in the second wave at this point. I mean, for the past 7 days, 6 of the past 7 days, Quebec has reported over 1,000 new cases.
Yeah, I've been watching
per day.
the numbers in there.
Per day.
They're pretty scary.
Yeah.
Although you have to wonder, though, I mean, I think there's probably some effect here that it's flu season. So some people are getting the flu. More people are getting tested because they don't know what they have.
They don't know what they got. Yeah. And we're going to be going into that too, I think.
Well, Penn State released a report today or yesterday about there's some statistical data that they look into for last March, and numbers can be 80 times higher in the population than what was previously thought at first.
Well, I mean, first of all, not everyone is getting tested, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I told you guys about that fool who coughed on me while I was running to a grocery store last week or the week before.
Maybe, but
I
that's
think you
not going to be
mentioned
the
it.
first. That might not be the first story that I'm hearing anyway. So
Yeah. Damn fool. Going green, mom. No, you did not skip a day. I just, every
I
day
was gonna
is
say,
Monday for me.
so,
I work at home, and
Saturday night. All
I'll
right,
fix it.
all right.
I'll fix that after the fact. How's it going, green, mom? But yeah, like, what's the testing rate in Sweden?
So there's a good question.
that's complicated, I think.
Like, because, I mean, it seems like they don't know how many people have this thing over there.
And I think there's a my impression is that tests are not super available, which is to say, unless you're sick enough to want to have medical care or you're insistent, you're probably not going to get a test.
Okay.
So I think that there's a lot that's maybe under the radar here.
Yeah. That's sort of what I felt about. Because you know that I'm dying to see Sweden, so I keep keep tabs on what's up in Sweden, like every couple of weeks, no matter what. And so what I was doing my every couple of weeks.
I was going to say, if you'd like to take your chances, it would be a nice time to visit. But I think there's still a ban on until about October 31st at least.
Yeah, well, Prairie Sentry there can tell you that there ain't a lot of flying going on because she's out of work because she's a flight attendant here in Canada. Oh, it drives me crazy. All these people I know out of work, good people with no jobs. Nobody should have to deal with that stress.
Or Prairie's entry. I'm a former aviation employee as well, so yeah, it sucks, but nothing else to say.
No. Going green, mom. I love it. Hold on, she understands about my messing up the day. Trying to get motivated. That is the story of everything. I'm doing this so that I don't have to clean my workshop tonight. There's a little home decor job I have to do, but when our fridge died on us a couple of months ago, I had to.
Weeks.
Well, it got fixed a couple of weeks ago, but it actually failed on us a couple of months ago. Excuse me.
It's even worse.
I had to dump out all my big Rubbermaid bins in the workshop so we could throw our food into them and everything. So it's still a nightmare in there. And I was like,
I was regaling my wife with that story earlier today.
yeah, I'm sure it was.
You tried something a little more old fashioned. You were using an ice box for a few weeks there, in a very, very literal sense.
An ice box and my little beer fridge that my wife bought me for my birthday. We still lost a lot of food. We still threw like a couple $100 worth of food away.
I was going to say, we kind of had an exciting day. We went shopping today, and about a kilometer from our house coming back, the transmission on the car we were using basically dropped dead.
Oh.
So we couldn't quite get home. We eventually got a taxi, which was nice. So we got a taxi to take us and the $300 of food that we'd bought back to the house.
Yeah.
The car is still out there. Apparently, roadside service assistance doesn't do Saturday nights here.
Oh.
So that's something that I've learned.
Interesting.
Yeah, not convenient per se.
Are you back at your regular house or still at the country home?
Up north at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if that would have mattered or not, but
well,
one part that did matter is I don't know anybody here, so I couldn't get any help. Yeah.
But you've been there for a long ass time. I mean, you're a citizen now. You got to. You may not know anyone near your new house, though. That's true.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay.
Basically, had no one to call. So.
Yeah.
Because anyway, for up to the holidays, doesn't matter from where you work from, because you're not required, like myself, to show up at the office.
Exactly. Good. As long as I got good internet, I could be anywhere.
Yeah, and that I think I've mentioned to you guys is the situation at my work too. Like, and I think I've already said that we were supposed to go. Well, the company's official line is that we're going back in January, but like
I'm sorry.
they bought us all this office furniture. In fact, I'm picking up some of it on the 15th, and then the rest is coming 2 days later. I mean, they've given me $2,000 worth of desk and blah and blah and blah. That tells me that if you read between the lines, we're out until at least the summer.
I was going to say, I kind of need to buy myself a standing desk because the total proportion of time that I'm spending on my ass is increasing rapidly.
That's exactly why I opted for the standing desk. I took the standing desk option as well because this I went into this thing at around 185 pounds, 189, something like that. Something my doctor told me. I got this really sort of dismal talking from my doctor. I think I was more like 188, 189. I'm doing pounds because the internet is American. And at that point, I got this talking to from my doctor, about, took my blood pressure and checked my cholesterol. And he said, okay, do you want to see your kids graduate from university? Then change some stuff. So I started biking the 16K to work, and then COVID hit, and now I'm at like 199.5.
I was going to say emotional tactics sometimes are as effective as logic. My physician he looks at me and he's really disappointed. He's just like,
yeah.
Oh man, I was really hoping for better.
And I do this thing where every summer, up until I started working at my current company, every summer I would slim way down because I would bike or walk everywhere, and then every winter I would sort of pork up because I turned into a slug.
I was going to say I had a really good summer, but I've spent the last 40 some odd days, weekends excluded, I suppose, sitting in front of my computer doing the stuff that I do at work.
Yeah, and my doctor said, it's actually worse for you to do this every year than it is to just pick a weight and stick with it.
That's what they say. I wonder about that. So it sort of sounds like, well, you shouldn't even try, or you should either succeed or just forget it. That doesn't sound.
Or like, Jesse, succeed or die. I'm like, huh.
Yeah.
Going green mom. Yes, I just wanted to. First of all, I want to say, Outdoor, good on you for doing all the work that we're talking about not doing right now. Lose a few pounds for me, will you? Going green mom. Yes, the one that I chose, the one that work has bought us is for those of us who choose this, it is convertible. It goes up and down, so that I can vary during the day.
Like my weight.
Yeah.
Tenenbaum, if you have access to, in Sweden, I mean, IKEA does have a very good standing desk option right now.
No doubt. I think if I pursued the channels, I could cause my workplace to buy an even fancier one.
Yeah, my employer is just too small to shed that kind of money right away.
Yeah. Black Dog, where are you again? I think you're in the States somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Because I keep reading this, the kind of the same thing that you're talking about testing down there, that it's a major mess, which is, if ever a country needs really good testing, it's you guys.
I think it's in the Midwest, Indiana or something like that.
I don't remember.
Central Ohio.
Oh, right. I saw that IKEA. No, I've heard that IKEA has a nice standing desk, but I haven't seen it yet. I think they're all convertible, though, aren't they?
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. Hit a button.
When people say that, they're generally referring to legs that can be put at multiple heights. So.
Yeah. Black Dog, don't talk to me about weight loss. I'm baling hair, cutting wood. I touch something, I gain muscle weight. Muscle weight's the kind of weight that I want to put on, though.
I would like to, but it's nope.
I mean, guys, I'm really in shape, by which I mean I'm really in pear shape.
Yeah.
No,
I don't need more of either. I could lose fat and muscle, and both would be a good thing.
Yeah, I'm spherical, so that's fine.
I am too now, and I've never been this big. and it kind of kills my
You
self-esteem.
you probably wouldn't believe me, but at some point I had more than 100 pounds more than what I am right now.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Well, I would argue that that's a plus. That's
Yeah, I would too.
that's a sign of success right there.
Yeah, and basically my medication at some point. They thought I was epileptic.
Okay.
Ah, yeah. Once you start messing with the metabolism, things get
So within 6
interesting.
months, I literally I'm almost double my weight
Wow.
from 170 to 360.
Yikes. Going Green Mom, where are you? Because look at this. Like, why would that happen?
Clerical error.
Yeah, somebody not checking until they're asked for the paper, and then they kind of have to check. You're doing the free version of Weight Watchers eye track bites app? I don't have my phone on me right now, but can you drop me a texto about that later? Okay, so you're in the States too. What is going on with the testing in that country? These are stories that you never hear up here.
I should say though, I got my exercise today. I pushed a car up a hill.
Yeah, that's true. Look what Outdoor Dauber says. So I guess we're all in shape. Actually, look at this. Going Green Mom, I've gotten to the point where every time I go in the bathroom to do something, wall push-ups, standing leg lifts, etc. That's actually a pretty good way to do it, so that you don't have to actually block off like 15 or 30 minutes to do your exercises.
I was wondering this week if I should start using the Pomodoro Technique for work.
Mm-hmm.
Working in 25 minutes chunk and taking a 2 or 5 minutes break in between.
Yep, I think you should. The team that I work with, they work with Pomodoros. Now that I'm working at home, I don't do it.
They have these cute little tomato-shaped timers too.
Yep. But yeah, literally, I'm really considering this. Although I'm taking calls, so that's kind of weird. Anyway, and I was wondering, in between those blocks, should I just do push-ups and sit-ups?
Mm-hmm.
Why not?
Mm-hmm.
Might try this on Tuesday.
It's not a bad idea. Now, by the way, Simo, are you working on location, or are teleworking from whatever it's called, telecommuting from home?
It's going to be teleworking, as far as I know. I was supposed to be in California on the 19th. Guess what? Nope. So we got the waiver to work from Canada, basically.
Okay.
And rather than the US. And
well, I'm sure that the logistics and hassle of asking anyone to cross the border is just not even worth.
Yeah, there's no way.
I'm just like Jesse. I'm considered essential services, specifically in my line of work right now. And there's no way I'm traveling to US unless something the fan. Let's put it that way.
Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to see if there's a better way to organize these windows. How's that, guys?
Sure, it's fun to just watch. It's fun to watch us shift around.
Oh yeah,
so we
should just be able to do the full circle.
How's that? I think that looks pretty good.
So far, that's probably the worst, but that's fine.
Hey now.
3 faces for radio right here.
Oh God! Hey, hike with Mike. I know it's Saturday. I don't know. I never know what day it is anymore. Anyway.
I was watching Dr. John Campbell, who's actually a fine resource for information about COVID on YouTube, and he mentioned one symptom that people have now, or some people have, which is this feeling of being disconnected from reality, like everyone and everyone they're talking to in is on video or something, and not a real person. And I listened to that. I said, "How is that different from my everyday experience now? How could I tell? The only people I ever talk to are on a screen."
Right.
But yeah. So what day it is, whether or not people are real,
yeah,
who knows?
I know which day it is because I'm not required to do 9 to 5, but that's about it.
Actually, I'm BSing a bit here because I have to know what day it is from Monday to Friday because I have to fill out a form in order to get the squeaklet into daycare every day, and I have to date that. Every now and again, I'll be like, what are we, the 7th or the 9th today? And like my daughter will come dancing by. We're the 7th, Daddy. You're 9 and you know this. I feel so bad about myself right now. But
okay.
But I mean, as soon as 4:35 on Friday happens, everything leaves my head.
I wish I could.
Just let me check something here. I just want to make sure that we've sort of caught up with everything happening here. You've been reading Atomic Habits. I've never heard of that. Going Green Mom.
I actually read it, but in diagonal or so, and it's really interesting.
Huh. Okay, maybe I'll take a look for it.
Yep.
Yes, Jen, we know. But a Pomodoro is also
those timers are so cute. They're so
the
pretty.
Pomodoro timers. They're all like little tomatoes. It's a method for chopping up your day into, like, what is it, 25-minute bites, 15-minute?
Yep.
And like every time the timer goes off, make sure you stand up, walk around, then come and sit back down. It's better for the eyes. It's better for the arse if you get up and do something that's strenuous. In fact, somewhere here I have a little sort of time organizer notebook, and it has an option on every page to check off Pomodoros as well.
Yeah, I'm using Toggle Track.
Okay.
It's an app online, just basically to track your time, whatever you're doing in a day. And there's also an option with Pomodoro right there.
Yeah. Heck with Mike works 7 days a week right now. Holy crap. How long have you been working 7 days a week, man? And how long is that going to be? Dude, if I was working 7 days a week, I would go bat shift crazy.
He's probably in production or scouting for. So.
Say I do that sometimes, but only when I want to. And what it usually means is that I'm not working that many hours every day.
Oh, God. I would. Whew. You should try the Mayo Clinic heart attack diet with grapefruit. I lost about 50 pounds. I will look into that. And this is embarrassing because for 6 years I worked at Reader's Digest in the division that does books about health and weight loss without actual dieting, but like doing lifestyle changes. So I have a stack of books over there about how to adjust your diet, blah blah blah. Do you think I ever look at them? Hells no.
You had enough of writing in them, and that's it.
Interesting thing, at that point, in Montreal, we were doing the lifestyle books for North America. They weren't doing them in the States. They were doing them up here.
Okay.
And we did a lot of taking like stuff made by the company in Europe or Australia and North Americanizing all the measurements and stuff, and like at that point, there were no books being made in the United States, and the New York office really, really wanted to find an excuse to bring that stuff back. I don't know if they ever did. I left to go work. One of my other clients offered me full time, so I left to go and do that instead because it was a magazine, and magazines are my favorite print medium. That magazine was not, but
well,
could
have been worse. So
yeah, Yeah, Jen, that must be crazy. Obviously, he's in high school in Quebec. My eldest goes to school every other day. Okay, so Going Green Mom is loving that book. All right, maybe I'll take a look for it. Black Dog, Honda is your main employer. Lots of shipping from China. We had it really early. It sucked. Yeah, I can imagine. Ben Sput or Sput. Hey, is that Jar Jar Binks as your avatar? Well, we know what part of those movies he liked. But hey, welcome to the stream. Thanks for hanging out with us. I'm just taking a look. I don't know why I'm putting all these people on screen. I just want to make sure that we're not missing anything in the side chat here, guys. Oh, okay. Boom. Hike with Mike and Tenenbaum have something in common here.
That may explain a few things. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to work 7 days in order to keep up. You're teaching full time at school, and you have 7 virtual classes. Yeah. Oh man, you must be busy. Sorry to hear it. Are you still getting time to hike though? Like, can you still sort of after work head out or what? I'm just Jen is talking about how now here's an interesting thing, Jen, because you're right. Like that's why dieting itself doesn't work, because a diet is by definition a temporary measure. And so once the diet's over, you can in fact pack on more pounds as you go back to your old ways. It has to be lifestyle changes, which unfortunately is where I suck. But I do kind of want to see my kids graduate at one point. So I do have to really get on top of that. But the fact is, I eat when I'm depressed. And as those of you who've been watching me for a long time know, that's kind of my home base in a lot of ways. And so, when COVID hits, I'm feeling pretty down. So I spend a lot of time sort of looking at the pantry, looking at the fridge. And we have so much stuff like chips and muffins. So it makes reaching for an apple or a pear much, much harder. And that's really weird because I don't like food as much when I'm not eating well. Like if I'm eating a lot of fruits and veggies and stuff, and like you can taste the earthiness in a cucumber, I'm way more excited about food. So I don't know why when I'm feeling down, I'll reach for a bag of chips, because you can't taste any connection with the world in all this overprocessed crap. And what I love about like munch on a carrot and you can taste the garden in it. You can taste the earthiness in it. I don't mean because I'm eating a dirty ass carrot. I mean, in the flavor of the food, you can taste the natural world. So why the hell would I ever reach for a bucket of ice cream?
If you look at the chat, Hike with Mike has just made a very interesting point. It's along the lines of what I was going to say, which is, there are people who have different reactions to stress.
Yeah.
I can tell you I can tell you for sure that when I'm stressed, I gain weight. There's simply no two ways about it.
Yeah, me too.
And for some people, it's the exact opposite. And, I guess it's a question of lifestyle. It's finding a way to live with what you need to do. I can tell you for me, it's a work in progress.
Yeah. Yeah. And Jen even goes further. And this is absolute truth. Like when your veggies are like something you've just pulled out of your own garden, you taste it more than the stuff that's been pulled up before it was really ready so that it can spend a week and a half on a truck. Right? Like that stuff tends to lose something in the transit as it ripens in a crate. Good old Simo. It's funny, Simo, because I was just talking to Mallory today about our various mods and stuff. Because she was saying that like one or two of her mods are very jumpy on the banning people and stuff. And I said that my mods are usually, what they do most of the time is somebody mentions a URL or like a website, and one of these guys will jump all over that and get the website up for everyone like that. And I was trying to remember, when was the last time one of you guys banned someone?
Oh, geez, that's been a while.
I have yet to ban anyone.
Uh,
I have to say that I don't want to jinx it, but in general, the audience we get here is pretty good.
yeah.
Um,
Because I know that Simon has given a couple of people a times out, but I don't remember
yeah.
last time someone got banned. Wait, Zach Fudge. All hail the ale, mister. Welcome back. What's going well, Mr. Fudge? What's happening? What's going on? Going Green Mom says something that's close to my heart. Radishes have become your favorite snack. I love radishes. I don't get to eat them very much because I'm the only person in this 4-person household who likes them, but man, I do love me a radish.
I've ate so much cucumbers and tomatoes this summer. Not sure if I'm gonna need to. I'll be able to eat some for the rest of the year.
Wow, because let me guess, your garden went heavy on the tomatoes and the cukes. We didn't get a lot of cukes, but we got an epic number of tomatoes. And in fact, we picked a whole bunch, like a big freaking bowl full, and put them in the fridge. And we're like, okay, we're going to do this, this, and that. And then we ended up not doing it, so they went bad. And we're like, oh gosh,
that's bad. Yeah.
Yeah. So the last big bowl we picked, I roasted so that we can turn into a tomato sauce or something. I roasted on the barbecue, so I guess I barbecued. I didn't roast.
I'm already planning next summer's garden right now.
Are you?
Yep.
Oh, I don't like what Hike with Mike says here. Poor guy. Hike, then one of the nice things about having a garden, well, one of the nice things is having food that you know where it came from. But one of the things that's nice about a garden is I love to sort of go because our garden is very small. It's very, very, it's like 6 feet by 6 feet. Okay. It's not even. It's like maybe 4 by 5. Okay. Because that's all the room we have. But after a rainfall, you go out and you putter about looking at stuff, maybe pick a tomato. The smell of earth after a rain, of plants after a rain, it's unbeatable. Absolutely unbeatable.
My garden is not a traditional one. I'm doing raised beds mostly, but this year I've started to do some bucket gardening.
Okay.
Literally hanging on the south. The west wall of my garage.
Okay.
Put 9 there this year, and geez, it was awesome.
Yeah.
And for sure, I'm not gonna expand it for the full wall because I just can't eat that much tomatoes or cucumbers at some point.
I find that we end up with way more tomato plants than we ever planted because every year some of them just fall to the garden.
Yep.
And then
they're just yep.
Zach, we got to get you on one night to sort of just yak with us so that we can actually see you and hear you, because you've been hanging out with us for a long time. It's been a while, but I think you were one of the early guys. Simon, he's been on for like ever, right? On the side chat.
Zach,
yeah. What Mike says here is absolutely true.
Yep.
Absolutely
so
true.
One of the things that I'm planning for next year is actually to grow a garden on the roof of my garage. It is a flat roof.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So I'm planning to. I don't want to get stuff that I need to care every single day.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna put melons. I want to put. I'm sorry. I'm just so used in French for these terms.
What's the French word that you?
Des courges.
Squash.
Squash. So basically stuff that you just put there and leave there until they're ready to be harvested.
Yeah.
The only thing that I'll be careful for, and this is why I'm focusing right now to do it, is to make an irrigation system.
Okay.
I
So that you don't have to like.
I don't want to climb for anything else than plant, put in beds, and get produce out of it, and that's it.
Yeah.
Is there any concern for how much weight you can put up there?
You'd be surprised how roofs, especially in North America and probably in your neck of the woods, are designed to support snow loads.
Yeah, a good snow load, I can imagine. I'm just thinking that a good amount of soil, especially wet soil, could be quite heavy.
That's the beauty with this. What I'm planning to do is basically take small flower pots or something else, and nothing permanent.
Yeah, because then you can take it away so that when the snow weight is on there, it's not the dirt plus the snow.
Actually, I plan to remove everything every fall. Everything every fall will go down, because if I need to shovel that roof, I need to get full access on, and I'm sure with the big shovel, I'm gonna just not only get the snow out of there.
Yeah. There's an interesting conversation going on in the side chat here between Hike with Mike and Going Green Mom, because Hike is getting a lot of good suggestions about what you can grow in the shade and stuff, and Jen has some interesting suggestions as well, and she's saying to try grow bags instead of containers, because apparently they air prune the roots. I did not know anything about that.
Yes, the problem with grow bags is they were practically impossible to get here this summer.
Right.
For unknown reasons.
Hey, Fox at Outdoors is here.
Yep.
And he comes in with a bang. Gardening is the only thing keeping me from losing my mind.
Actually, I'm sorry. I need to get back. It is possible to get some grow bags as long as you are willing to use dollar store bags. Because what our Dollarama are putting out these days as reusable bags are actually grow bags in fact. So yeah, I'm thinking about it, and yeah, I might think give it a try for next year.
Yeah, it's worth looking into. All right, Zach. Well, if you ever decide to come on anyway, I think you'll be welcome. Going Green Mom knows about grow bags. Oh, check it out. Jen made some. Jen makes everything, man. Jen, by the way, can make you almost anything out of duct tape as well. Just to Jen, didn't you make a faux tartan cover for a a binder or something out of colored duct tape? I think. Like a kilty looking thing. Oh, we just lost a viewer. God, maybe that's Jen. Maybe I pissed her off. Just kidding.
Probably.
Maybe it's Outdoor Dauber. Just, you know what? To hell with you, guy. I'm out of here.
If he's camping out tonight, he's the more likely candidate to.
Yeah. He said it was clear skies where he is. And like, I don't remember, he said like 95 degrees or something, or 75 or something like that. I don't know what degrees freedom are in Canadian.
75 is.
Fox says, I'll be trying my hand at, I don't know, potato
Roughly.
growing this season during the hot summer season. I'll be utilizing some refurbished 5-gallon vegetable oils containers. I would like to point out that a Foxit actually used the term utilizing properly, because utilizing means to use something other than that for which it was designed.
75 Fahrenheit is just shy of 24 Celsius.
Okay. So, I mean, it's a nice night for him. Yeah.
That's still better than 4 Celsius that we're going to get tonight here.
Yeah. Wait, Prairie, Jen, you have a Facebook page called Prairie Century's Duct Tape Adventures? How long have I known you and I didn't know that?
Worse, why do I have a sudden urge to join Facebook only to see this?
Oh, okay. Going Green Mom said outdoors said he would be back in a bit. Family was arriving home. Okay.
Which is fine.
Christ, I made really short work of a 750 milliliter beer at 6%.
Fortunately, you're not driving tonight.
Yep. I ain't got nowhere to go. Here's the reason why I called this Friday night. Because I wanted to do this last night to make up for the fact that I didn't put a video up. But last night I was putting the toddler to bed, and I woke up at 5:30 this morning. 5:05 this morning when she decided I had to wake up. She didn't want to go into her crib. It was turning into a massive thing, so we snuggled on her sister's bed. Forget about it. Woke up at just after 5 this morning. Made her some milk. Put her in another bed and went back to sleep. So that's why I called this Friday night instead of Saturday night by mistake.
But by the way, I mean, there obviously is a lot of talk and emphasis about the negative effects of the situation we're in. But just on the flip side there, your young one is getting more mom plus dad than people get mom plus dad early in life than usual. So there's a plus there for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Because even though, well, and even the elder daughter, right, who would have been in the pre and post school daycare every day until close to 6, she comes home at like she walks out of school at 3:55 and just comes home. And so we actually see each other for like 2 hours more per day than we did while I was working at the office. And I think that there's a real benefit there because I'm one of these people. It's funny because Tenenbaum, you posted somewhere or said once that, about how comparatively short a Swedish workday is when you work in the fika.
Yeah, well, this is my complaint that no one ever actually gets anything done. Because
and
I was taking breaks, but yeah.
And I think that what I would rather do, because a workday is 8 hours, right, give or take. I would rather work my arse off for 6 hours, right, no breaks, and then have the rest of my day to myself.
Well, and then I mean, this is why one of the things you're hearing about this new working style that many of us are engaging in is that there are people who don't want to go back because, if you're one of those people who was spending 2 hours a day commuting,
which I was,
you realize that, wow, those 2 hours are great if I don't have to use them that way.
Yeah.
It's
yep.
That's a nice thing in a way.
Yeah. What I did, because I've, as many of you know, I only learned how to drive at the age of 37. Okay. Because my wife didn't give me a choice, because her family is very widespread. The vast majority of them are like on her father's side are in either back home in Haiti or in New York or in Florida. So we do a lot of driving to New York. Or like her mom lives out in Oka, and some of her family lives in Gaspésie, and there's a lot of driving involved in seeing her family. And she said, and I'm not going to do all the driving. So I said, look, man, it's, we just bought a house. No, we didn't even have a house yet. I said, we were still kind of a new couple in that we'd only been together a couple of years kind of thing. And I said, it's just too expensive. So she just handed me this big sheaf of paper saying, I bought you the lessons. You start tomorrow. Because as a good downtown Montreal, or I had grown up thinking that I don't ever need to drive. Right? Montrealers are like New Yorkers. You know, what do I need a license for? I don't need no car. So I learned how to drive at the age of 37.
That was
Why did
exactly
I start on this? Why was I talking about this?
for no
We're
reason
talking about
except
commuting, and
Yes.
except that
Okay.
my wife learned at the exact same age.
So when I started driving to work, by the time I got there, I would be angry. But when I was driving home, by the time I got home, I was ready to throw stuff. So what I had to do was start like, I got to zen out because I'm going to die. I'm going to have a heart attack. I'm going to drive into the median and I'm going to die. So I just started listening to podcasts or listening to audiobooks, or just I had to adjust to seeing that as me time. Right? So that, okay, it's taking 2 hours, but I can zen out. So long as I get to school by 6, we're not being charged $5 a minute. You know what I'm saying? And that changed how I viewed the commute. So I don't mind the commute anymore because I'm listening to something, or I'm, you know, provided I'm not stressed about getting to the daughter's school by 6. So that hasn't had. What I like is the fact that we don't have to fill up the car as much, because there was a 2-stroke negativity on that before. There was the fact that I had to learn how to see it as my time, so I didn't. But there's also the fact that I'm very crazy about carbon footprint, and the constant driving felt, especially when I was sitting there in traffic, and I could just feel, the carbon footprint getting bigger and bigger. But yeah, the thing is, but on the other side of it, I have 2 hours more a day to hang with my kids, or at least one of them. It's hard to see a negative in that, even if every time I walk out the door, I'm terrified of catching COVID. Okay, let's just make sure that we're not losing track of the peeps hanging out with us here. Wait, first of all, yeah, I think it's been about 9 years, Jen. I think. Wait, so you wouldn't utilize grow bags because that is the intended function? No, I would use grow bags because that is the intended function. If I reused shopping bags as grow bags in some way, then I'd be utilizing them. Simon is infected with red-green disease. Zach says, I moved back to Newfoundland because that's the lowest Rona cases. Been here for 2 months, and there were less than 12 new cases since. Oh, man. Is that ever not the situation in Quebec? Yeah, curriculum night at school was way less chaotic for us as well. Oh, Zach, you're in Corner Brook. Okay. Haven't done any fun duct tape projects in a while because Walmart decided it wasn't in the medium anymore, and Michael's is crazy. Michael's is crazy expensive. You got that right. Whoo! I don't go to Michael's if I can avoid it. So, Prairie's entry is in Montreal, sort of on the west, but I'm not going to get too exact because, privacy. Simo's in Longueuil. Tenenbaum's in southern Sweden. Well, right now, aren't you more in northern Sweden?
I would still call it south. It's just for a little further north. I mean, it's like,
okay.
Well, I guess descriptors vary, but I'm still a good 3 hours south of Stockholm, and Stockholm's kind of in the middle. So it's a big north-south country in that respect.
Yeah, it's very. Chile is a huge north-south country. I think Chile takes the cake.
Well, come on. Okay. Tenenbaum, for the parts that we chat about, I did not forget you, but they're still looking for.
Yeah. I tried again with the online system and this time I got a message that said they didn't have any. So that was an improvement, at least in terms of customer service quality. But I'm no closer. Simone and I are talking about the fact that I live about an hour from IKEA headquarters, but I still can't get the parts I want for my furniture, the little fiddly things. So
That's
And
because
little-
headquarters is where they push paper,
Yeah,
not product.
but little known facts. Montreal, the IKEA warehouse in Montreal was the first one established in North America, and used to be the one distributing everything for North America. So they got stuff here that other warehouse don't. And something else weird that I've noticed last week, in fact, they built a brand new warehouse west of Montreal, and to close the one that we got here in Saint Hubert, and it is still going on. Both facilities are rocking. No idea why.
I was going to say, in defense of IKEA for a moment, the product that I'm trying to buy get the little metal things for is the most un-IKEA product ever. It's a metal locker of sorts, and it's unlike most of the things they produce. So I can.
Is it one of those little? Is it like a 3 locker thing?
This one's more like a 2 cabinet metal box, but it's
okay.
It's still flat packed, but something made out of sheet metal that you put together by bending little metal bits is very unusual for
IKEA. Yeah.
So
I like this comment that Jen said. COVID has been terrible for the zero waste movement. Hell, has it ever? I've spent years trying to become more and more zero waste, and then COVID hit, and like we're throwing away masks. It's like, oh god, making sure that we tear the little the ear loops off, of course.
Reusable personal protective equipment's quite tricky.
Yeah.
So
I've just taken a look at what's there's a lot of discussion about 3D printers because Jen has one. Jen, how often do you use that thing anyway? What are you using it for? Because I know that Jen was making parts for visors at one point. I'm just taking a look. Duct tape has always been a little high on the price factors, like 6 to 10 rolls for a. I think US is redoing their houses with IKEA furniture. Canada is too. I was like, hey, Grace is here. How's it going, Grace?
Jeez.
I'm just going to throw the invite back out in case somebody wants to get on to chit chat with us. Hey, you know what I did today? You know what I bought?
What?
Can I just start that again?
Do tell.
Hey, you know what I bought today? Okay, so some of you know that I kind of have this idea of maybe starting a whiskey and spirits channel. So what I did was I bought an old barrel. That's why I was that's where I got this beer, because these guys had all these barrels hanging around that they're not using. So I bought one, and the plan is to cut a hole in the top of it, put a flush mount light in there so that I can light
the bottle from below trick.
Yes, exactly.
It looks cool.
Yeah. So or if I'm doing more like bushcraft cocktails, put the glass on it, light the glass from below. So
one of my favorite, for lack of a better word, drinking channels, How to Drink, uses that method quite often. And
that's where I got the idea.
It looks great.
That's exactly, and it bugs me when he forgets to turn the light on or something, because he does that sometimes, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where I got the idea. But his light is really flush mount. Mine still has a bezel.
I really enjoy his channel.
I love his channel.
He is very enjoyable to watch.
Yep. Anyway, so today I went and bought the light at Renault. And I have to just get what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to get just a big old extension cable cut off the end, splice it together, and then either just plug it in when I want to turn it on, or splice in a switch. Hey, Jen.
Hey,
How's it going? So, you think
That's
you're
kinda
out of
weird.
work for the long term, or what?
they just started recalling people. They just started recalling people that are from like 2007.
Oh. Okay.
Uh,
So you got a ways to wait.
at which point the cut was made?
Oh, the people that kept their job.
Yep.
The people that kept their jobs that had been working there for like 20 years.
Okay, so it's seniority order, and you're waiting.
Yeah.
That's what I heard. That's what I was hearing and what Jen was saying.
Everything is seniority in airlines.
Yeah. Holy crap! Look what Zach says. Helped my grandparents refund recycle. Stood outside for 2 hours and could only turn in 5 bags worth, and 3 cases of 12 beer counts as a bag. Yeah, I'm terrified of bringing back the recyclables because in our house, the recyclables is Camille money. Like, we don't give her a weekly allowance. She comes with me to return the bottles and the cans, and that's money she can have. Because in our household, it may as well be an allowance. What else? But yeah, so Zach, man, I'm gonna have to deal with that. Jen, who's sitting here, said you were printing PPE at the beginning, sewing mass to donate. Now you need to take it apart because it's some crazy Z wobble.
Yeah, that's the
Oh.
vertical axis.
Yeah.
And the two axes on the side, there's like a giant screw that it goes up. As it moves up each layer, the z-axis just wobbles crazy, and then it loses its place because it doesn't actually know where it is in space. So if it gets jarred or whatever, then it just kind of shifts everything over, and it doesn't result in a nice
So
print.
you end up with like this kind of thing?
I don't know. I have like some crazy delay. No, more like it goes up straight, and then like the top half will be shifted over.
So you got the microcontroller problem, or is it the lashing in the screws?
I don't know. It could be a tiny little piece of filament that's somewhere. Last time it was not printing well. It was just like literally like a 0.5 millimeter piece of filament that got jammed into an extruder, and then it got stuck onto the side and melted, and then it was just jamming all the time, and it was like one little tiny piece of filament.
Brutal.
Yeah, so I have to take it apart and clean it all out and put it back together, which I've done like 400 times by now. I'm not in the mood. I don't have anything urgent to print, so it's not.
I understand you completely.
On the top of the list.
Quick question,
I want to
John.
say, okay, you first.
Yep.
Go.
Is your rack is over or below your printer?
What do you
The
mean by
position
rack?
of the rack and pinion. Is it the rack is over or under?
I have two what are they called now? Stepper motors on each side of the Z-wobble.
Yep.
Then at the
But
top,
the
I
rack-
have a whole gantry. It's the JG Aurora A5. So I don't know if you want to look that up and see what it looks like. But
It's probably a screw in that case. Okay.
yeah, something is loose. Something is out of calibration. So it could be that just one side is just slightly higher than the other. I don't know. I have to take it apart, clean it up, and see exactly where it's gone. Squirrely.
Got it.
But like right now, my washing machine just died, so we're waiting for a new one to get delivered. And then we had to take down the ceiling and the wall in our basement bathroom because the toilet upstairs leaked. Because it's so super fun, right? Because the wood around the toilet got rotted out. So now we had to take down that ceiling, reinforce underneath so we could actually attach the toilet, and the toilet doesn't wobble anymore upstairs. And now we just got a piece of gyprock, and then we have tomorrow. That's what we're doing, is putting gyprock on the ceiling and the wall. Yay! And then mudding and taping and painting, and
Yep. I just
all
want to
that
take
fun
take
stuff.
a couple of seconds to go back to the side chat here. Grace camped last night but got scared of coyotes nearby, so he went home at midnight. I don't know, would like a group of coyotes attack a group? Would a bunch, I don't know, what, a herd? What are they, a pack
A pack.
of coyotes attack humans?
They're probably worth being scared of. Yeah.
Going Green Mom says we only have a year to get called back here, so 2007 would not work down where she lives. Simone, you said Going Green Mom, I think I know what you need. Did you ever tell her? Hey,
I just
Hawaii Volcano Squad's
dropped
here. How's it going?
I've just dropped the URL while you were checking on the side chat.
Jen, Going Green Mom was asking what kind of face shields you were doing. Her library has
Yeah,
a
I'm
3D
answering
printer,
her.
and you haven't found a mask your daughter's comfortable in.
The masks that I was doing were just pleated masks that I was sewing to donate, and they were just like old sheets and stuff like that. So, and they smelled like old people. Like I would just like sewing them through, and it was just like that smell.
Yeah.
But the face shields themselves, she had a whole other kit, so I would just print the headbands and give them to her, and we were printing them out of PETG, which is not fun. It's very stringy, as opposed to PLA, which prints very nice. And we would just give them to her, and she would assemble the kit with some clear plastic and a little like foam and the elastic for the back. I still have the STL files, but I haven't printed any face shields. They don't seem to be as effective as masks for everyone.
Well,
Like, they'll give them to you
bought a
at the
bunch of
hospital,
those.
but
Yeah, we bought some of those masks, shields for our family, but we haven't used them really.
no, I
It's
have
just-
one. My grandfather's in the hospital, so I have one that they gave me at the hospital, and they asked me to keep it and bring it back. But
Yeah. I love what
I
Zach
never wear it if I
Fudge
go to the
says here.
store.
He borrows his girlfriend's 3D printer to print temporary house keys for guests. You're just hoping one of those doesn't
Oh.
snap off in the lock, eh? But what a use.
I suppose if
Oh,
you had
geez.
the 3D model of your key,
Yeah, right?
as
Crazy,
long
eh?
as your locks are
apparently
well
resin
lubricated,
works as well. If you
work.
want to cast a key out of resin,
Okay. Interesting.
That's
like-
that's the kind of service call that I love to do.
Yeah.
go pick somebody's lock because they have a 3D printed key inside.
No, just tuck in because it broke.
Yeah.
How to get a locksmith to laugh at you?
Yeah.
You did what?
Step one. And if you don't print it the right way, the layer lines will make it weak in a certain way, right?
Mm-hmm.
You'd pretty much have to print it, I
Horizontally.
guess, lying down. Yeah, lying
Yeah.
down.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
It is troublesome to think about this.
Oh, this is how he did it. Took high-res photos and traced in CAD software.
Yep.
Wow.
I
that's
use
right.
Tinkercad, and it's not that great. But
Zach, man,
free,
that's
you know?
some deep dive stuff.
I was gonna say,
You can
presumably,
use Fusion 360, even if you're
Hey, but it's not free.
Well, it is still free. They changed some terms,
Oh,
and the terms they change. If you really want to do 4 and 5 axis, you probably get the money anyway to pay the license for Fusion 360.
I use it casually. I can't justify the spending it. If I had extra money to spend, it wouldn't be on that.
If I had
Let's
extra
put it-
money to spend, I would spend it on scotch. Just saying.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, I haven't really been. I watch you having your cocktails every night, and I haven't. COVID.
Really? I have discovered.
I'm
Here-
a social drinker.
Here's what COVID has done to my alcohol tendencies. I used to be, my whiskey used to be completely and only scotch. Okay. since COVID, I have discovered bourbon. I bought one of these. I haven't opened it yet.
Ah.
And by the way, if you ever want to
Oh,
blow a hole in your
is
wallet,
that shoyu?
no, this one's the
Shochu?
single malt Yoichi.
Japanese
Because
whiskey.
yeah, this one was only $92. But it because of the whole Mizunara oak and everything, you can spend a couple of hundred pretty fast on Japanese whiskey. I've been exploring bourbon as well, like much wider field than I used to play on. I'm not loving everything I'm trying. I'm having a really hard time. Like some of you guys will have tasted Knob Creek. I think I got to work on that one a bit because people keep telling me that it's fabulous, and I'm like, what are they seeing in this?
To each his own, right? If you don't like it, you don't like it.
I now have a workhorse bourbon, the Woodford Reserve. I never had a workhorse bourbon before because I was like, I'm not drinking bourbon. I'm a Scotch guy. It's so classist of me. It's like, so shut up, Jesse. You funkin' asshole, you know? But
It's good to have an open mind.
yeah.
Tag on it, eyes.
Yeah, and I was always like, "Well, Japanese whiskey, come on!" But what's interesting about Japanese whiskey is that entire tradition is based on Scotch. You know,
Because there's not a huge grain production in Japan outside of rice.
They probably import
Like,
Prairie. Yeah.
oh, it's very likely. It's very likely.
I wonder what the
When I was in Japan, there was a lot of obviously sake everywhere, beer, and their beer is much lighter than ours too, and not as shochu, which is like a rough sake.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously the sake variety that they have there is nothing compared. Like we have what, 2 brands here or something.
You know, I have yet to try a sake that I like. I have tried and tried and tried. I've always been very interested in Japan in a lot of ways. When I was in university, I didn't quite get a minor in Sino-Japanese history. And this sort of stems from a couple of things. One of which is that everything I have ever owned that was made in Japan was exquisite.
They put so much care and effort into everything that they do. There's no half-assing in Japan.
Yeah, and so I was like, I have to see where these things are made, you know? I also, look, as many, well, in my case, recovering geeks will admit, I mean, there's an anime thing happening there, right? But I also
I'll be right back.
Sure thing. I also have a real love of sort of the aesthetic of the language, especially the written language where there's like 3 scripts going on, right?
Yeah.
Because there's
I'm more than a year in of still learning Japanese. It's such a complicated language. It's beautiful. So organized.
Much like the country, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But I would like to, at some point, you know, when I win the lottery, spend big on one of these that is old enough that you can really taste that, was it Mizunara oak, the Japanese oak?
I don't know. Spend big, go to Japan and get it for like $10.
Yeah.
In Japan.
Oh, wow. I don't know when the hell I'll ever be traveling.
Yeah. But I'm so glad that I went to Japan because I went last September. I'm so glad that I went before all this went down because it was honestly the trip of the lifetime. It was amazing.
And I think that travel is going to be a lot more expensive after this.
I would love to go.
Yeah, but you know, flight attendant benefits and stuff. I have buddy passes. You want to come? It's a 13-hour flight, by the way.
Of course.
In economy.
I wasn't working for an airline. I was working on the before the plane's flight.
Mm-hmm.
Dispatch?
Nope, I was at Bombardier.
Oh, my uncle just retired from there.
He probably retired at exactly the right time. Wait. That's not.
He's been waiting for he's been waiting for a while for them to say, hey, because he had like 2 years left. So they are like, you know what?
They packaged
Here's
them
your
out.
package. And he's like, yes, finally.
Yeah.
Yep.
Outdoor Dauber says that we can keep up with the live stream now because he's back. Thank you, Mister. Because we've all been holding our breath.
As usual.
Yeah. Tito's Vodka is a great cheap workhorse out of Texas. I'll take a look for that.
I don't think we can get Tito's here.
At just to answer Going Green, Mom, it is not the brand specifically. I just gave you a rough idea about which cable to use to solve your issue. And basically anything braided or anything that is basically wrapped in metal will work at the end.
Oh, what are we talking about?
She had a cat problem chewing on her USB
Oh,
cable to charge her phones.
yeah, my brother's replaced a lot of wires that way.
There's well, if you scroll up in the comments, there's one example of the cables that should be used to get rid of the.
Unfortunately, it's not a problem that I have. My problem is my cats choose to use places that they don't like as a toilet.
Yeah.
Like if you leave something where it doesn't belong, or if they don't think it belongs there,
Forgot about it.
well then yeah, it's a bathroom.
Yeah.
But right now I have no wash machine, so I have a lot of things in my furnace room that really smell like cat pee. It's lovely, I tell you.
Just to be clear, how long did you don't have that machine?
Oh, a week?
Okay, so you can still wait a bit. Jesse, how long did you didn't have a fridge?
A month.
So
it's already ordered. It's arriving Wednesday.
If you're lucky.
Well, I don't know. So far,
Let's
so
just
good.
say I won't be buying a Samsung fridge again because what happened was apparently they closed their Canadian parts distribution center. So my parts had to come from Texas, but of course everything is complicated shipping stuff across the border now and blah, blah, blah. So yeah, it was a month for us.
I had to.
Oh no, my wash machine I think is coming from like Point Claire, so.
Okay.
Somebody doesn't have to deal with the same problems as me.
I had to replace this summer the pump on my hot tub and locate one part in US. Fine, $750, 130 of shipping, all in US dollars.
Yikes!
Plus taxes, plus everything. And I was able to secure one of the 2 remaining pumps in Quebec from the manufacturer.
Mm-hmm.
It was a bit less than $500, all shipped with taxes. But I learned something with this. I will now every year dismantle the pump, change the bushing, change the impeller, change pretty much every weird parts on it.
Well, if you can do the work yourself, you're saving some money, right?
Well, that's what I did with my washing machine for the last 3 years.
Oh yeah.
The pump went, and so I mean the pump. No, it was the bell or a gasket that's around the door.
Yep.
Yeah.
You get a repairman to come in. He's like, oh, like $500. At that point, you just get a new machine. On Amazon, it's like $120. It's not a difficult fix. Fiddly, but it's not difficult. So I did that. Then I replaced the pump. And then this time it was giving me a door lock code. So we ordered a new lock and then we installed it. But it was still giving me a door lock code. So we were like, machine's 13 years old. I think it's the motherboard at this point, you know?
Mm.
Just for you, John, there's two parts stores specifically in Longueuil. One is on Tachereau, one is near the Metro Longueuil station. And both of them are I've pretty much stuff on shelves that just loose parts that I haven't found even online. Yeah.
Well, last time I got something was applianceparts.ca because I'm trying to buy local as much as possible, or at least Canadian.
Yep.
Mhm.
One, because you don't have to deal with shipping from the US. Even though sometimes it's a little bit more, sometimes it's a lot more expensive to buy in Canadian than it is to buy American, which is aggravating.
It's
But yeah, we have a place too that's in, I think it's near Langelier, in Anjou, maybe. Reliance, I think. But they're really expensive, and they don't keep a lot of stuff in stock anymore because everybody gets stuff online.
yeah.
I just want to say to Zach, yes, Tito's is available here at the SAQ. Not everything is because the SAQ is
it's state run.
Government owned.
It's government owned. It's a provincial department or agent, whatever. We're like Ontario. It's the government controls the alcohol here. I can imagine that the government probably couldn't control the alcohol in Newfoundland where you live. But
No,
it's
they
not
do.
like
They have a
Alberta
liquor
where everything is.
commission
Yeah.
and-
Oh, they?
Yeah.
They got a liquor commission there too? Okay.
I'm just.
I
I'm not
don't
sure how
remember
many
what it's
provinces-
called, but yeah. We brought back Screech when we went.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
I did not enjoy
You're gonna
Screech.
get Newfoundland.
Yeah.
It's nice.
I've passed through Newfoundland twice, and one of them was to go to Saint-Pierre-et-Miquelon.
We wanted to go there, but we were already driving from St. John's all the way across up to Alonso Meadows and then back down to Port aux Basques to take the ferry. So it was already a lot of driving.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we didn't have our passports.
Well, I had a 4 weeks contract in Saint-Pierre-et-Miquelon.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Were you
Oh,
paid
yeah.
I
in
love
euros?
Newfoundland. It's amazing.
Jesse, yes, we were paid in euros.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Nice. Hawaii Volcano Squad says, do not buy refrigerator replacement water filters from Amazon. Good to know.
Yeah, counterfeits on Amazon is crazy.
Yeah.
They're doing a good job still, but
Yeah.
there's still so many crap on this.
Whoops, I clicked on the wrong one. Tabernouche. Going Green Mom says we have controls here. Doesn't stop people from DIY options. I think she's talking about the vodka and stuff. I tell you, I've got this dream of like if I ever win 30 million, I want to start a very small craft distillery. Like just a couple of barrels at a time. First, do a few barrels of a whiskey, put it away. I'd like to do one that's 100% like rye, and one that's a single malt because
Oof.
I don't have the patience for Canadian whiskey generally. I like Lot 40; it's 100% rye, but generally I feel that our whiskey is terrible.
Well, isn't
and then
all
while
of our
they're
whiskey rye whiskey?
well, that's the thing. Rye in Canada doesn't have to have very much rye in it at all. Whereas in the States, rye has to have, I think, what is it, 50%, 49%, something, I don't know. But in Canada, rye is shorthand for Canadian whiskey. It's like,
Did not know that.
so I don't tend to drink Canadian whiskey. I love Lot 40, but that one's 100% rye.
We're going to lose Tenenbaum soon.
Well, for him, it's what, 5 in the morning?
It's only 4:30, so.
Where is he?
Sweden.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're still awake? Good for you.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a night owl.
Yeah. But yeah, so like I have this dream, and like while the whiskey is aging, I would do gin. But it's functionally illegal for me to do that because it's so hard to get the permits in Canada that you may as well just call it illegal. You know, you can brew beer for yourself at home.
Small batch for yourself. Yeah.
Not for not for distilled spirits. You can do wine, you can do beer, as long as you don't sell them. But for distilled spirits, not even. Which pissed me off because I was like, I'm gonna do this when I win 30 million because
how are all these Italians making moonshine then?
Well,
like
that's the
building
thing. It's
Moncheto and stuff like
they're
that.
not doing it legally.
Because
But I mean,
Legally.
Jen, you know what my wife does. I can't do anything that would be professionally embarrassing for her. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes, I catch your vibe.
Yeah. I just want to just do a quick jaunt down the side chat to make sure we're not missing anyone.
Hello,
well,
Grace.
Quebec Homestead just showed up. Mallory's there.
Hey, Mallory's there. Hey, I was just talking about you earlier. I was saying how we were talking about our mods before because two of my mods. Well, and now you're here. I was mentioning how my mods are just usually sort of if somebody mentions a website, one of them will jump on it and get the URL in the side chat immediately. And this is a completely unplanned live stream, so there's nothing really going on. We're just yipping and yapping. I was talking about I love Going Green Mom. She's replying to Tenenbaum. It's only 4:30. What time do you have to get up? I think he's pretty glad that it's Sunday where he lives right now.
I'm here tonight because it's the weekend and I don't have to do anything tomorrow necessarily.
Hawaii says
I still believe that you're a robot. So
yeah,
that's one good hypothesis. The other one is that I'm actually still living on North American time, which is quite close to the truth.
But man, you've been in Sweden a long ass time, dude. You should.
There is a reason though, which is I still like to watch NHL hockey, and this just drags my whole life back to.
Is hockey even still on?
Well, it is now. It is now over, but you know.
Yeah.
So, question for you: I know nothing about Sweden aside from they took a completely different path for the COVID management. Do you guys have that really dark winter and really light? Are you far enough north for that?
Yeah, I mean, the whole country is relatively far north. I'm in the far south, and one of my houses is at 55 degrees latitude. And right now I'm at my summer place, which is close to 57. So that's like Edmonton.
Yeah, Edmonton's pretty north.
Grand Prairie north. I mean, so, and I'm at the extreme south of the country. So if you get up to Stockholm, you're already approaching 60, and the country extends up to the Arctic Circle. And unlike Canada, because Canada's got so much permafrost, here there's solid ground almost all the way up. So there are roads and people all the way up there.
Yeah.
So there's certainly people living in Lapland who live in the land of the midnight sun, where in the winter they don't see the sun, and in the summer it doesn't get dark. So it's quite.
I remember when I went to Edmonton, it was like 1 a.m. and it was still bright outside. And I was like, "What the hell is going on?"
Edmonton's pretty far north. Yeah.
And it surprised me. I didn't think it was far north enough for that, but I guess. Yeah.
So here in the extreme south, we have pretty long days. You know, it'll be sunset after 10 p.m. And sunrise, sometime around 3 or 2 or 3, for the longest summer days. Which is glorious.
Nice,
the summers are glorious.
In the summer.
Yeah, the summers are glorious.
But what time does it get dark there now?
So now we're near the equinox, and it's pretty even. It's getting dark at 6 p.m.
Same as here, pretty much.
So you're what, 66?
Although today it was dark at 2.
Yeah.
That's because we were getting rained on, though.
But pretty,
oh my God, it's like
pretty
really
soon
black.
We'll have really short days. Yeah.
Is there a higher level of like seasonal affective disorder or some depression in the winter because of it, or people are just used to it?
It's quite serious.
I read a statistic somewhere that whereas across Scandinavia, it's pretty freaking high.
It's pretty well known that Finland is highly affected by this, but I think it's true probably for Sweden as well. If you talk to people here, and this is certainly true for me, lots of people take vitamin D, they take melatonin, they use light therapy. So there are people people deliberately deal with the fact that they're not getting the sun,
right?
And they know they need it. Finland
knows a cure for that seasonal disorder. It's called vodka.
You got to be careful with that, but yes, that's one way to go.
That's not a great way to go. I just want to mention to Hawaii Volcano Squad, I buggered the day because I wanted to do this last night to make up for not getting a video out, put the baby to bed, fell asleep until 5 this morning.
I was going to say, both Swedes and Finns are generally quite reserved until they start drinking. And then things get quite exciting. They really open up at that point.
And I think that's true for a lot of cultures.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But I think because they're so... I might get myself in trouble here, but they're so repressed. You know, they keep it bottled up so much when they're not drunk that when they get drunk, it all comes out.
That sounds a lot like Japan.
I think there's a lot of similarities. Yeah.
Yeah, Japan, they're always very serious, always very considerate of other people's of how people will receive their news and their impact on others. But then they go to the izakaya at night after work and they just drink and they're like passed out, sometimes half naked in the train. And you're like, this is the same guy before that wouldn't even talk on his phone in public.
Yeah. It's funny.
Hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, the sun, we underestimate how much that affects us. When I was doing Caribbean flights in like January, February, while they were cleaning the plane on the turn, I would just be outside in the air stairs, and just like 15 minutes in the Cuban sun or Dominican sun makes a huge difference in morale. Huge.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, there's lots of ways to get vitamin D, but there's nothing better than the natural way.
Yep, that's true.
Yep.
I just want to point out to everyone who is in the side chat, I just put the invite up again in case anyone wants to come on and chat about something.
Zach has a great comment right now.
Newfoundland was weird this year. Hold on. Well, it started to get cold and wet last week. It usually starts to suck in early September. Well, that might be the climate change happening.
There's no such thing as bad weather, just bad clothing.
That is a Swedish axiom.
Is it?
Yes.
That's funny. I like it. I like it a lot. Just making sure we're not getting behind.
I had a great time during that thunderstorm. It was.
Did you?
I wasn't outside, but it was fascinating to watch.
I was. Whoops.
You laughing about Fox at Outdoors?
Oh God, no! Please, Fox it, no. No, God, no! Please, oh please. Fox it has a skill. I'm just taking a look.
I have mine as well.
Oh yeah, I've got one of those. At my daughter's school, there are certain boys who call me Captain America because for the pizza lunch, I was volunteering once in one of those, and apparently that gave me some cred.
Cred is always appreciated, you know.
You got to appreciate the cred when the cred happens. Yeah. Excuse me, sorry guys.
Jesse,
I mentioned that the baby.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I mentioned that the baby woke me up at 5, right?
Yeah.
I was going to say, I may be 6 hours ahead of you, but you have children, so that's going to tire you out.
Yeah. Oh well, whatevs. Nobody is ever prepared to become a parent, but then when you figure out what it actually entails, it's too late to go back on the deal.
You know what I wasn't prepared for? My son doing driving school and working.
Does it make you feel a little old?
A little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. He works now, and I don't.
Yeah, but can you please send us a message so at least we can hunker down when he's out for lessons?
Driving around.
Oh well, he just did his written exam for his learner's permit, and he pooched it. So you've got some time. Well, that's what happens when you don't study, right?
Yeah. Zach says, my move here was only supposed to be a week trip, so I had to buy all new clothes, and I still have a full closet in Nova Scotia. Whoops.
Each.
I thought Nova Scotia was doing well in COVID as well, though.
Yeah, I guess PZR was doing well in back in spring.
But how are they doing now?
I thought the numbers in Nova Scotia were pretty good.
Nova
Well, the
Scotia,
numbers in
New Brunswick.
Newfoundland are great, though.
Yep.
Oh, nobody's allowed in or out.
Yeah.
Quebec
I was reading a piece
getting back
about
into
Scotch production. As soon as COVID hit, it became impossible to go to the islands, like the Scotch making islands. Jura, Arran, Isla, all those. They just boom, forget about it. You can't go and you can't leave unless there's like a medical emergency. And so these islands have been pretty much COVID free. But unfortunately, the Scotch industry has been taking a massive hit. So these islands are COVID free, but everyone's still sort of, there are distilleries where most of their staff has been furloughed since March. And I'm like, but I keep buying bottles to keep you guys going. So for God's sakes, but like, one of the things that we're not sure about is 10 years from now, right? Like, say you've got Arran 10-year-old, okay? Which, by the way, hits way above its price range when it comes to the flavors and stuff. So 10 years from now, are these all going to be really expensive because they've only made half of the amount of Scotch that they usually make?
Interesting question. And if they're making, or they were making good money on tourists, and there are no tourists, then that has to come out somewhere. Especially if they've spent money on infrastructure designed to accommodate tourism.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's tough.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering what the prices are like. Are we going to see a massive jump in 10 years? Because what's going to happen then is those prices probably won't come all the way back down when the production, when 10 years after the production starts kicking up again, right? I mean, because Scotch is already overpriced in North America. Let's be honest here.
Oh yeah. I find a lot of things are overpriced here, and I find the prices have jumped a lot in the last 6 months.
Buying lumber. Holy crap, dude!
Finding lumber.
Finding very hard. Yeah.
Buying concrete.
I only had to buy 2 bags of post mix. I couldn't tell you, but I was hard pressed to get some pressure treated lumber to fix my fence. I had to go to like 3 stores.
Well, buying concrete middle of this summer was almost impossible in South Shore.
By the truck or by the bag?
By the bag.
Really?
Interesting.
Yep.
You know what? Since Rona and Renault got bought by Lowe's, I found the distribution and not necessarily the quality, but the variety of products that they carry, it's just gone way downhill.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah,
it is.
Since they both, it's terrible.
Yeah, distribution is pretty much the same because it's the same channel. They just reduce by 30 or 40% the amount of product listed.
And they have no inventory in the store.
Yep.
Why would they? It is cash sitting. Just sitting and doing nothing.
Well, I tell you, next year when I have to fix stuff,
we will deliver it to
I'm going to go to little lumber yards if I can.
Well, that's the whole point. If you do have one nearby, don't worry, just go there.
Nearby? Like the Rona is like 2 kilometers, but like was it not Valmorin? Whatever is probably like 20 kilometers.
Although maybe this is true for everything, which is to say, if you have a local business that you like, now would be a good time to support it. Because
absolutely.
If you don't, it's just not going to be around.
Yeah, I agree completely. Absolutely.
My job right now is kind of weird in a way that we're not affected at all. we're not entitled.
Are
for
you still at
any-
Bombardier?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not at Bombardier. I left
Is anyone
in-
still at Bombardier?
That's another story. Thank you. No, I was in Bombardier between 2013 and 2016. I'm a telecom guy by trade, and I was doing mainly networking. But
That's
I
what my
was
husband
in
does.
the. I'm sorry.
But that's what my husband does, is networking for Bell Canada. Yeah.
Okay. I've worked for Bell 15 years ago.
He's been there for 20 now. So you started at, was it Nexia?
Oh,
But now it's just
jeez.
Bell,
Yeah, okay.
Bell Canada. Yeah. He's been there a
That's
while.
another of Bell idea that didn't do anything. I'm sorry.
Okay. He's still employed, so we're not complaining.
Yep, and I'm fine with this. It just 20 years ago, during the bubble, they've done so many things all over the place that just come on, guys, can you just do one thing right?
Mhm.
That's it. And they fall down, and now it's Bell.
Simon, this is for you.
Two-pack. Unsure about the fast.
Hey, Mel.
Fast charge. Hey, Mallory. The fast charge. If it's gonna be backward compatible anyway, so don't worry about it.
What's going on, guys?
You know, we're just hanging out, chit chatting
Yeah.
Hanging out on a Saturday night.
Saturday night because
Yeah, why
no
not?
one's doing anything.
Yeah, we had like a massive storm
Happy
come
Thanksgiving.
out.
Wait, happy
For what it
Thanksgiving.
is, yeah.
Happy
Yeah,
Thanksgiving.
Mal, we got a whole lot of rain here. It wasn't like a full-on thunderstorm or anything. Well, actually, Jen, where you are, you had a storm, right?
We had
Oh, yeah.
hail.
There wasn't a lot of thunder, but the rain sure came down and it was super windy all day.
Yeah.
No, we had hail today in South Shore, on the South Shore of Montreal.
Yeah.
I didn't remember
I'll
seeing
be
any
right back,
hail.
folks.
I literally just got done eating dinner and I was like, okay, I'm going to go feed my animals and everything. And then open the door out in back with my kids, got everybody dressed up. And we're like, holy crap. Like it's going to pour down on us like real bad. And so it was like way super clear and nice skies in front. And then in back, it was just so dark and black. So we go outside and we go feed the animals. And Ben's like, hey, Mallory, I need you. And I'm like, whoa, okay, what's up? He's like, the door is going to literally just tear off with the wind. So we had to go get the tractor and push the tractor on the door so that it doesn't blow away.
Wow.
So that's how it is now.
That's crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, I put that on my Instagram story. It was pretty crazy. But it's better now. It came really fast, but it left really quick too. So it was just big bursts of winds and thunderstorm and
Oh, yeah,
lightning
it
and
was
everything.
It was a hit and run.
Yeah, it was. I wasn't expecting
I was
it though.
knitting this afternoon because my son came home on Thursday and said, "Oh, I have a hole in my mittens, and I'm trying to like not spend money, and I have a huge pile of yarn in the basement." So I'm like, "I'll just knit you some new mittens." And I'm knitting, and it's like, "Why is it so dark?" I didn't have the lights on. Then I could suddenly not see my knitting, and I looked up, and I was like, "What time is it?" And it was like only like 2 or something like that. And I was like, "Oh." Because, sometimes when you're busy doing stuff, you don't realize the time is passing. And then you're like, oh, how did it get to be 6 p.m.? Oops, I should have started supper. But, yeah, it was so dark. Middle of the day.
Yeah.
And Jess here.
Wait. Oh, nice.
Oh,
You made
looking
those?
good.
Oh, no, you
Yeah.
fixed them?
No,
No, I made
she's
them.
knitting them.
Wow.
This is
That's
the first
amazing.
one. That's the first one. I have to start the second one tomorrow.
That's so cool. Hey, Karen. Busy little
Yeah.
house. She's in Quebec.
There's a lot of Quebec in the house. Going Green Mom says, what do you mean no one's doing anything? I came to the rain dance bar. And so, hi, busy little house. I think this is your first time here. Welcome.
Yeah, I was just chatting with her, and I was like, I'm just gonna hop on Jesse's, and I told her that you guys were all from. Well, a lot of you guys were from Quebec, so.
Yeah.
Well, actually, right now
Outdoors
we're all
says.
Canadians at least.
Sorry.
We're all Canadians right now.
Yeah.
True.
First time actually.
All Canadian live stream.
That has been a all connect.
That wasn't the
stream.
first, but with 5 of us right now.
Yeah.
Yes, it's
Okay.
Going down in history. Oh, I want to know who is Prairie's entry.
I'm a friend of Jesse's, like a local friend.
Okay.
I don't know. We've known each other for 9-10 years now, something like that.
Yeah. Well, we met through music, right?
Yeah, at a friend's house party.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and
then the Robbie Burns, and then we
Robbie Burns
forming business relationships and setting up gigs and stuff like that.
Yeah, and you and some of the other drummers and stuff started showing up at our St. Paddy's Day gigs.
It's like impossible to get into Hurley's on St. Paddy's Day. And especially after doing a parade in that morning, you're like, nah, forget it. I go home to sleep. I played drums with the Pipes and Drums band in Montreal.
Yep.
And so we do the St. Paddy's Day parade. But if you don't line up at Hurley's in the morning to get in, we're not getting in.
Yeah.
Or if you don't have a badge or know somebody or whatever. So
you got in a couple of years, though. I got a picture of you and Marie and what's her name?
We had a friend who knew someone in the kitchen who snuck us in the back door. That's the only way we got in.
Okay, right.
Because we had kilts on too. We still have our kilts on.
Yeah. Busy Little House. Not the Black Watch Band.
No. More red and more national.
Yeah. I don't know. Can we even mention?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
We're gonna leave it like this, I think.
We're a national police force. We wear red jackets.
In Canada?
That's right.
Oh,
in Canada?
Okay,
there's
one.
Yes.
That one.
Okay, that one.
From the many national police forces in Canada.
Yes. One of the many. Hey, wait.
Oh, yeah, I gotta relocate.
Busy Little House plays pipes.
Yeah.
Do you play with
Busy Little House is Karen.
Karen, do you play with a pipe band, or do you just sort of kick back on a Saturday night and?
I once told her that one day I'm gonna have to build a Quincy, like a really big Quincy.
Yeah.
She's gonna have to bring her bagpipes and play them in the Quincy to see how it sounds.
Oh my god, that must sound crazy inside a Quincy.
It must.
It's
Yeah.
gonna be terrible.
I tried to build one with because we never get enough snow here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Really?
Where are you located that you get enough snow to make a Quincy?
Oh my gosh, I'm like in the Le Bas du Fleuve. I'm all the way near Montmagny area.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm up in the mountains. And like seriously, I used to live in Quebec City, and it was way like up. I have a video on that actually. If you want to go see how to make it, it's really easy. I'm sure you can make one in Montreal in your backyard.
I've made one. I did a cold weather survival course with the Canadian Forces with the cadet program.
Okay.
So we made a Quincy. We slept in a Quincy on our second night, and on our third night what is it called in English? It's a tombeau.
Yeah.
One person. Yeah, because we had to do the first night. We hiked in, like we snowshoed in 4 kilometers with one of those like military sleds. There, the little like it's like a human dog sled.
Yeah.
And
a polk, yeah.
A what?
Polk.
Like POLK?
PULK.
Yeah, you.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
I was
It was like a
looking at
harness,
too.
2 people in a thing, and then one
I was in
person.
the Army Cadets too, and Karen too.
Pardon?
Me and
Sorry, I had a little
Karen
bit of
in the
lag.
chat, we were both in the cadets.
Yeah, so was I.
Oh, were you?
Yeah. Yeah, so we're like a cadet Canadian
Great
crew.
program.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I did my time too.
Yeah.
There you go.
what squadron? Air. What element? First of all,
First of all,
Jesse, you were a Army cadet, no? Jess?
No, I was there.
Yeah.
Number
I
1
was
West
Navy.
Montreal Squadron.
Still exists.
I was
know.
Army. Durit Nefrit.
I
206.
was a cadet at 588.
Oh, that was Canadair at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
then I was an officer at 803, which is Pierre Phone.
Yeah, we used to know those kids too.
I was Navy at the 206 and an officer at the 2985 with the Army.
It's funny. There's a lot of with the officers moving around. There's a lot of the wrong element officers in squadrons and corps now. They're hurting for CIC officers like it's crazy.
Grace, it's not quite like the ROTC. That's a little different. You guys don't have an actual analog to the.
They do. It's very different.
Our cadet program is very much based on the British one. Like everyone in the Commonwealth has one. In some countries, like I know some people from Jamaica, and it's like every kid in Jamaica is a cadet at some point. I know some people in the UK, Australia. There are cadets throughout the Commonwealth, but it seems to be a little different in the United States. It's not like the Civil Air Patrol is probably the closest thing you have, but
My parents sent me there to keep me out of trouble.
I joined
And
because I was just too shy
surprisingly-
to speak to people. I was just
I had a
was
friend
like,
who was. I had a friend who was in a Garth Ragman.
Yeah.
I don't know. I joined because, well, I wanted. That's it. No friends, no nothing.
My
no.
parents pushed me to become like they wanted me to go in the military. They were like pushing me like, okay, go to
Yeah.
cadets and then you're gonna go enroll and everything. They really were pushing me to enroll when I was a kid. But I ended
Oh,
up
really? That's unusual.
Yeah, because they wanted me to have like a, I don't know. My mom was always telling me, oh, you can go over there. You're gonna get a good salary. You're gonna, t'es nourri logé, and
Yeah.
and so and they dress you and they feed you and they house you, and so they're like, for me it was like a perfect security. But
Right.
As a parent, it's the ideal activity for your kids. It's free. They're being taught discipline and leadership, and they can be there almost every night.
Yeah.
Like I was
But on the summer
nights
camps,
a week sometimes.
Yeah.
But on the summer camps, though, there's a lack of supervision. There seriously is a lack of supervision. I mean, I had so much fun.
Stop there, Mallory. It's a family show.
No, I wasn't that bad, but I mean, seriously, there was a lack of supervision in those. There's so many kids, and like your superiors are like what, 2 years older than you are.
Sometimes, yeah.
So
sometimes.
Going Green Mom, we're not required to serve. It's like the cadets are like the youth wing of the armed forces, but you don't have to do it. It's just I find that a lot of people. Yeah, I find that a lot of people who are
not
into
even as much anymore.
bushcraft and survival went through that even more than the Boy Scouts kind of thing. Or sorry,
they sent you into the military to keep you out of trouble.
Well, we're not. Well,
Sweden has reintroduced
Teenager, right? So.
Wait, Tenenbaum, Sweden has reintroduced what?
Compulsory service for young people.
Really? Well,
Yeah.
I know Sweden has an issue with a resurgent Russia, right?
There are concerns along those lines, yes,
Yeah.
and it's a relatively small population in a relatively vulnerable position.
Yeah.
For many, many years they didn't have it, but about 2 years ago they decided that basically the size of the volunteer army was insufficient.
Mm-hmm.
So there are options. I mean, you can do military or you can do other forms of public service, but you are required to do something when you turn about, I think, 22 now. That's how it works.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
I'm not opposed to that idea.
Me neither.
Yeah.
I'm not.
compulsory service wasn't the only thing that Sweden reintroduced. I think that they beef up regular and reserve as well.
And for example, in Finland, it never went away. Finland has always had compulsory service.
Wow.
Same
I
thing.
think France
with
does
Belgium.
still too.
Finland knows what it feels like to have Russia stomp on your territory.
Well, that World War II remains fresh in the minds of many Finns.
Yeah.
The loss of Karelia is a very personal thing for them. So
Yeah.
yes, they remember they're living between two countries they don't particularly like all the time.
And same
Yeah.
thing with the Baltic states.
Oh, hey, Tyler's here. How's it going? How's it going, mister?
Hey, Tyler. Yeah, I would love to visit Sweden too.
Yeah,
That's
me
like
too.
one of my go-to places.
Same here. I don't know when that would ever happen, but yeah. Yeah,
Well,
Tyler, I don't think Going Green Mom has been on the live stream before, but she's got a lot of interesting things to say, so I'm really glad she showed up tonight.
Yep.
Yeah, she's in a lot of places.
She's
comes with
asked,
lectures,
what if
too.
you are not physically capable to serve? I think here you can do one of the other options in terms of public service. The other thing is that there are roles in both military and other public service that are not requiring physical activity. So you can serve in a wide variety of ways here.
Right.
Yeah, there's military, but also civil service. So
Yeah, I think France has a similar structure as well.
France
You just have to do
has
something for your country.
Yeah.
Mandatory.
Yeah, France has gone fully professional about 15, if not 20 years ago.
Where is this, France?
Yep.
Yeah.
They've gone
Yeah.
fully professional. There's no longer compulsory services there.
And I wonder how this is going to shake out in the future. It seems that in some ways we're heading into a much less secure world. I don't know.
What the hell are you talking about? Secure
The world, man.
The last, let's say, the last 70 years was probably an anachronism over the old humanity stories.
Maybe. I don't know. I just have a feeling.
Not being at war or with major conflicts.
Yeah.
It's not something that humanity is known for.
Hey, Wood Pigeon's here. How's it
Yeah.
going, mister? Long time no see. You, yeah, back to red for you starting. Yeah, and I saw that. I was wondering about you. The government today announced red for the Outaouais region.
Oh, he's in Outaouais?
Yeah.
No, darn.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're still in orange here. But everywhere from Lévis all the way to Montreal, I think, is red, right?
Yeah.
You've got colors for what?
COVID. Red zone
COVID
means
restrictions.
don't leave home. Orange, yellow. We don't have any green zones left in Quebec, unfortunately.
Yeah, everything's like getting back up there. It really sucks. That's why I'm hosting a Halloween party, a virtual Halloween party.
Virtual, yeah.
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 I have a whole bunch of candy that I don't know what I'm gonna do with.
I
mean,
just
look,
put it in
and
your
the
mouth and
mayor-
chew. Come on, man. It's candy.
Send it to me.
9 pounds away from my goal. 9 pounds, Justin. I gotta ruin it with like 3 boxes of candy.
But Jen, if you ruin it, then I won't feel so bad about myself.
You gotta try this program. Honestly, I have not been hungry.
Really? Okay.
And it's super easy to follow. You're the one who does most of the cooking, no?
It depends. Because now that
portion and
herself
budgeting,
is,
yeah.
yeah, well,
And it's an app. It's super easy, and it's free.
yeah.
I wonder why.
When I first saw this live stream title, I thought, is everybody in Canada drunk and they don't know what day it is or something?
Just
Jeff.
those of us who count.
There's only one that really don't know what day it is.
Yeah.
Now, guess
Going
who
Green
it is?
Mom says, how come I clicked on that? But from a mom standpoint, I wouldn't want my kids to go to military just due to the obvious risk, but I would love for them to find a way to serve others. Well, it doesn't have to be a military thing. You know, we've got this really weird thing happening where, and I'm going to not go too deep into this because, you know, Jesse's channel, no politics. But we have this idea that anyone in a uniform is a hero right now. And so people who want to serve just sort of fall into like military or cops or whatever. But there are other options out there. There's a lot of stuff you can do. I mean,
think it's more like everyone wearing a suit and tie is a crook.
Yeah.
okay, is that political or not? Because I kind of feel the same way.
That's just an observation.
Yeah.
And you know what? Like in the military too. I mean, it's not like everybody's not infantry. There is so much office work and behind the scenes and stuff that gets done as well by military members. I have a friend who's logistics. She's just like supply chain.
Yeah.
She's in the military full time, but I mean, she's never on the front lines.
In the rear with the gear.
Yeah.
For another
Pardon?
example.
In the rear with the gear.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, Going Green Mom. Outdoor Dober timed you out accidentally. It's not because you didn't said anything. I just hit on a button and it timed you out for 4 minutes. Sorry about that.
With my family, when I was growing up, basically my parents said, like, everybody in the family has been in the military, so we don't feel like we don't want you to feel obligated that you have to serve the military. And I mean, going back to, the real hero in my family was my grandfather Abraham, who my family was refugees in Poland after Germany overran Poland, and they had to bug out to Russia, and eventually he joined the Second Polish Corps, which was formed in Russia, and there was like a Polish colonel that kind of like he did combat for 2.5 years on the Eastern Front fighting.
On the Eastern Front, that was a bad front, man.
And then my uncle, who was there, I mean, but I won't go through the whole story, but he did too. He felt like when the family came to America that he owed America something, so he volunteeed for 2 tours in Vietnam.
Okay.
My dad was in the military, so they're like everybody was in the military, and but the Marines did get me into their recruiting office, but I escaped.
Right.
They had kept sending me letters saying that when I was in high school, I think, saying that we'll teach you how to fly choppers.
Right.
But I was nearsighted, so when I made it to the recruiting office, they said, you have to have perfect vision to get this training. And so I was like, well, I don't. And back then they didn't have LASIK.
Right.
When I was in high school. So, I mean, I've had LASIK since, but back then I couldn't. So I have to have pretty good vision to get that training and to be a pilot. But so I just said, okay, well, you sent me all these letters saying I could learn, and now I can't. So I'm out of here. And but I did other things with my life. But I think in Hawaii, there's so many veterans here. It's some people, a lot of people join it's a job.
Yeah.
And, especially right now, the tourism economy is dead. It's in free fall.
Yeah.
The state's on lockdown. And
tourism is like non-existent right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Period.
I have the new place that I bought has where I'm living, it has a Airbnb, which I can't rent, So,
hey, did you move into your new place?
Yes. Haven't you been watching any of my videos?
I haven't watched anything lately, but I'll take another look because
I'm starting to put out videos from the new place, and I think the next video I put out will be me versus this. I'm declaring war on this bush on my property. It's a nasty, nasty bush. It's like got thorns. I think it's called, some people call it a Chinese raspberry, or other people call it a cat's claw.
Okay.
But it's got thorns, like microscopic thorns, medium-sized thorns. And what the excavator business people that I talked to told me is you have to go to a welding company to get gloves, welder's gloves. So if you're going to try and...
I was going to say, who's winning, or is it a draw still?
I haven't started yet. I'm planning I'm putting together my plan of attack.
Just go to a chainsaw, dude, or kill it with fire.
Oh, C4.
Flamethrower.
Well, I did order a Red Dragon. If you're
Red
not
Dragon.
familiar, a Red Dragon propane torch.
Okay, it was like this suddenly went into a D&D place really fast. What? Let me roll a saving throw and see if I'm going to fall into this conversation or not.
A Red Dragon propane torch is basically there's something called flame weeding. So if I don't want to like carpet bomb the neighborhood with Agent Orange or Roundup, then one thing I can do is use do flame weeding. And what that is you don't really burn the weeds that you want to get rid of. You just
Thermal
it's got
shock.
500,000 BTU heat, and the heat just kills
Vaporize
it, and it wilts and dies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the xylem and the phloem of any plant are not going to enjoy that kind of temperature.
Well, but these
I
plants
would
do grow
still
on a
go with
volcano,
napalm
though,
anyway.
so
Right. I see Zach
I would-
Fudge sort of met me where I was going and took it. By the way, I noticed that we're at a 11:15. Maybe we'll go until 11:30 because usually I ended at 11. But we can. What do you guys think? 11:30?
Napalm.
Mal, are you gonna hang with us till 11:30?
It's already past
Yeah.
my bedtime by like an hour or so.
I'm here. Hey, remind me, who is HVS?
that's me. I'm the Hawaii Volcano Squad on YouTube.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. I was like, I was trying to figure out in the chat, and I was like, who in the world is this guy
Yeah.
talking? And I was
Hawaii
I
Volcano
should have
Squad,
asked.
Yeah.
Yeah, on YouTube, I'm the Hawaii Volcano Squad. I've put a couple of things in the side chat so you could hit on one of them, and maybe I don't know if it still lets you link to the channel if you do that,
No, can't do that anymore.
but
Yeah.
You have to type in. That's why I was looking for your name, and I was like HVS. So I'm not finding anything with that picture.
beware of sharks. Yeah, well, so short synopsis is I have a like guns, knives, prepping channel. Started to get into bushcraft, and then I sold my condo and I moved up here 2 months ago to the volcano prepper compound. So I live on an island, the big island of Hawaii, that's 3,000 miles from the nearest continental landmass. It's kind of like I live kind of surrounded by a jungle,
Nice.
on top of a mountain. So, but still, I can't rent my Airbnb. So COVID,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but I've kind of been since I'm so look. I had to sell my condo, but to buy this property, and it's just been now that I'm like own this house / ranch or piece of jungle. It's like there is a never ending list of stuff that needs to get done around here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
I feel you.
it's insane, and I just have to slow down and not because just moving. When I was moving up here, it was, I had movers help me for 2 days because it was 2 truckloads of stuff. Some of it was in my storage locker, some of it was in my condo, and this is what every day was like, without exception. Wake up, gear up, mount up, gas up, ride to the sound of the gun. 2-hour drive back to Kona, go polish the condo that I sold for the new owner, clear out all the finish packing up the little things, and then and try and leave it perfect for the buyer. And then usually it'd be nightfall, and I'd be driving back on these curvy mountain roads with sheer cliffs, and in the driving rain with some idiot like tailgating me at in the driving rain, and I could barely see 10 feet in front of me half the time. So and then I'd get home at like 10:30 at night, and then 6 a.m. I'd be up out the door again. So and that it was like that for like 2-3 weeks. And I think I had a really bad case of plantar fasciitis on my heels. And it was like I just had to finally just say, okay, I don't care what happens, I'm not doing anything today.
Right.
Put my feet up and because my feet were like just not cooperating anymore.
Yeah.
And so I've kind of slowed down I try and knock out one major thing each day, or one minor thing each day. And my garage, if you, when the moving company moved all my boxes from storage into the garage, I mean, it kind of looked neat the first day, but by the second day,
The nostalgia wears off quick.
I made a video called "The Prepper Box Mountain of Doom," because my garage, and you look at my garage, it's just a mountain of boxes, and all my preps and stuff were in there, but I didn't know where anything was in which box.
Right.
And that was insane, you know, because if you want to find one specific thing, you know, and it was like, okay, where is my stash of gold and silver coins? You know, I knew it was in a box marked like like sugar or something like that. It wasn't. It was hidden in plain sight. But I had to find the box that had, you know, my food preps in it because it was in there. So I had to go through just like 50 other boxes just to find the box, be able to get to the box, make a path to where I thought it might be in the garage.
They say that other than divorce, moving is the second most stressful experience.
I hate moving.
In everyday life.
Can't stand it.
So there you go.
So it's been 2 months and I still haven't unpacked everything. There's still things I don't know where they are, but I've got like all my freeze dried food out. I found my gold and silver, all my ammo. Well, that wasn't too hard, but it's like it was insane. And plus, there's just stuff.
But you know what they say? The
What's
stuff
that
that you haven't unpacked after 6 months,
No,
you
not
could
6
probably
months.
just throw it away.
2 months.
But after 6 months, if you still haven't unpacked something, you could probably just throw those boxes away.
Well,
You
it's
clearly
like,
didn't need it.
I have a Makita power drill. I have not found the charger for the battery. So,
Right.
Oh,
so if I throw anything away, I'll never find it.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair.
But my job, like Monday when the welding supply company opens in Hilo, is to go and get some welding gloves so I can attack this cat's paw bush, cat's paw bush, and see if I can prove victorious. I mean, I've had some crazy strategies that I can't do because it may look like a jungle in the middle of nowhere, but I have neighbors, so I can't just pack like binary explosives at the trunk and just blow it up. Besides, it would send thorns in every direction.
You need
and like an explosion of thorns, and I can't just start shooting it with a shotgun, and I can't just burn the whole jungle down. And I don't really want to use Roundup. And even if I did use Roundup, it wouldn't help me there a lot because I still have this gigantic bush with thorns, and they're not going to go away just because the plant
What
dies.
about the silicone oven mitts?
I think it'll go right through silicone.
You think so?
thorns.
The silicone and the matting?
Yeah, it'll go
What
right
about the
through.
oven mitt ones?
They're sharp.
How
Holy
big are
Very
these
sharp.
thorns?
Well,
I still believe that napalm is the solution.
I can't call in an airstrike. I'm a civilian.
Well, then until the rule of law is over, and then you can do whatever.
Well, if there's no rule of law, then okay, I'll declare
Zach
myself the king of Hawaii.
that's actually a good suggestion.
Going Gray Mom says that her last move was easy, but she lives in a trailer.
I like this idea that if you don't unpack it after a certain amount of time, you don't need it. I'm living right now at a summer cottage, so I've been away from all my stuff for 3 months now. So does that mean I don't need any of it?
Could be. You say
Could
it for your
be.
clothes as well. At the beginning of the year, let's say January 1st, take everything, all your clothes, and turn the hangers around so the hangers are like hooked backwards. And anything that's still hooked backwards at the end of the year, you could get rid of because you clearly didn't wear it in a whole year.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Well,
I need a closet for that, though.
I mean, I have like a whole bed full of boxes stacked with clothes and suitcases full of clothes that it's like I have to wash everything before I put it away. So, and it's like I have some dryer vent issues that I have to crawl under the house to try and fix the vent or disinfect it or something. And so it's like I got to put on my battle dress uniform, my knee pads, my elbow pads, a headlamp, and crawl under the house.
For the dryer vent, why don't you get one of those, so it comes out of the dryer and it has like a little basket thing on it, and it just has a filter on it, so it vents it back into your house or out the window, however you so choose in the meantime. So at least you could use your dryer until you get around to the dirty stuff.
Well, I've been using a dry rack outside, but it's where I
Better
live.
for the environment.
This is Hawaii. It just rains a lot, so it's because of the humidity up here. It's not the dry rack don't work as well.
You need a fan.
Wood pigeon. That sounds really cool. I'll I want to see those three.
Nope.
3 bows.
I got.
Yeah.
I haven't set up my archery. I bought a bow. Haven't had time to use it or set up an archery target yet.
I've only used a bow once.
Me too. At a corporate thing, they made us all shoot bow and arrows for like teamwork and team building. I was like, oh, cool.
So
those are the best kind of work trips.
Yeah.
I have these pheasants that visit me in the front yard like every day from the jungle, and it's like free food almost if I needed them. But,
right.
So I went to the local sporting goods store to see if I could buy some birdshot. They're all out. All they had was slugs, which I guess is okay if you have to kill a boar. But it's like these pheasants come and they just look for bugs on my lawn or something to pick at, and little insects to eat. And
slugs aren't a good thing for pheasant.
There'd be nothing left. Just be a puff of feathers.
Vaporize them.
Yeah, so I know I have some birdshot somewhere, but so it's like because of the ammo shortage, I think there's a big panic for ammo buying, and it's like a lot of the local gun shops are just completely out of guns and stuff. But I just wanted to buy a box of birdshot, so I didn't have to spend like an hour digging through the garage to find mine. Mm-hmm. And so I just wound up buying a box of pistol ammunition, and that's about it. And I think, what did I do? Yesterday, I bought 2 new 40-gallon propane tanks, and or that was the day before yesterday. I got them filled yesterday and hooked them up because I have a propane like fireplace to keep the place warm at night when it gets really chilly up here on the mountain. And
oh, come on.
Hey, what's the firewood situation like in Hawaii?
There's plenty.
There's plenty? Like you have like okay.
I don't have a wood fireplace. Like I said, I have propane.
No, but like if someone does have a wood fireplace, can they buy like cords and cords of wood, or is it?
You can cut it down
legally.
Clearly, you haven't seen my any of the videos of my place yet. I thought you'd be the first one to go check it out. But
I subscribed and I hit that bell, so I'm not gonna miss one. I'm gonna check you out next one.
I've been
thank you.
Very, very behind on my YouTubing for a few months now.
I understand. Real life kind of has its challenges.
Yeah.
I have a buddy in Hawaii that hops on my live streams. His name is Johnny Harper, and
that guy is amazing, dude.
Yeah, he's so awesome. But yeah, he's like not on the mountains, but he says he can't grow apples there. Can you grow apples up where you are?
There's a kind of apple that grows in Hawaii called mountain apple.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a cross between a pear and an apple.
Is that like those
Probably
Asian apples?
Like similar to
Asian pears that are so.
They look like apples, but they kind of feel like pears when you bite into them.
Yeah.
I haven't planted any trees yet. Only thing I planted so far was some planter of a small ceramic round planter of wildflowers, because I got some free seeds when I bought my vegetable seeds back in October when I first tried to sell my condo and I had my first offer, which didn't work out. But so that's when I bought my seeds from Bulk Seed Store online, and they gave me a free packet of wildflowers. But I have a pound of cilantro seeds and a pound of red leaf lettuce that I have not started.
Wow,
But I'll show you on my next video.
A pound of cilantro seeds?
that's a lot.
Yes, I know. One farmer friend that used to be on my live streams when I did them told me, well, if you have a pound of red leaf lettuce, you could plant an entire acre, and you only have a half-acre lot with a house. So, gonna do with that. So hopefully it lasts for a few seasons. It came vacuum sealed, so I don't think any moisture got to it. But
lettuce doesn't grow well in the high heat, though.
What's that?
Like, it's a spring crop. Lettuce is a spring crop. So, like, does your temperatures get cool enough to grow stuff like lettuce?
Yes, and I have a video of the rain. We get enough rain. I when it was like last week, it was like 3 or 4 days of straight.
Is that the one called Plenty Water?
What's that?
Is that the video called Plenty Water from like a week ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of water. I've got it going right here. It's a lot of rain.
Yeah, so my next video I'm going to show you on the other side of the garage, and what you're seeing in that video is where I want to put my planter. And at first I have to deal with that nasty cat's claw bush thing. And so Monday I'll go get some welder's gloves, and then like Tuesday I'll attack the plant with a machete or a parang, and see who wins.
Right.
For the first round, I'll bet on the bush.
Okay.
Oh, okay, guys, it's 11:30, so I'm gonna shut her down so
Hey,
that
Jess.
I can.
Can I just plug in? Can we go raid another channel? People that want to follow.
Sure.
There's actually one of my subscribers, North Shore Preparedness, that is starting his live stream, and he did a surprise chat, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I'll try to get some people over for you.
Can you just grab his URL and put it in the side chat?
It's right there. It's right there. He's a pretty cool dude. He supports a lot of small channels. He's a really, really cool dude.
Is it in the YouTube side chat or the StreamYard side chat?
He's in the YouTube side chat. I just put the link in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Sean from North Shore Preparedness. He's in Ontario, and he's a prepper. And he's like, his first live chat yesterday, he had like 36 people. I was like, what? Are you kidding me? Yeah. And now there's like 30 people in there right now.
Hot topic.
Yeah.
What is the topic?
It's just a surprise chat Saturday. I guess he's just chatting, but I just told him, like, I'll share that in there. If you guys want to go just say hi and say like Jesse Raindance Bushcraft Raid or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. I'm
Just
gonna go
do
over and
that.
check it out.
Yeah, just go in and press that thumbs up, and then, stay if you want, leave if you want. No problem.
Okay, so Simon, I'm going to put you down as having voted for Bush.
I think I'm with Simon on this one.
I'm still voting for Bush for the first round.
All right. Okay. So I'll see you guys all later. Thanks to all of you who came on screen and chit chatted,
Sure.
and to all of you in the side chat. It was a very lively chat tonight. I like it. So thanks a lot. I hope I'll see most of you on Tuesday for the regular live stream.
All right.
Until then, everyone
Sounds
stay safe, stay sane, stay healthy. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Forget about the thing.